Imagine this. You're sitting in a cafe in another country and someone starts talking to you in English. Your heart starts racing, but this time you actually understand every word. That's what we're working toward today, and trust me, you're closer than you think.
Exactly. Today's episode is all about giving your ears a serious workout. Not the gym kind, the English listening kind. So stay with us, repeat when you can, and let your brain soak in the rhythm of natural English.
Let's warm up with something simple but powerful. I'll say a short sentence, and I want you to repeat it out loud. Ready? I'm improving my English every single day. Now you say it. Go on. Really say it. It's important to hear your own voice.
Good. Now let's get into a natural conversation and let you listen closely. We'll talk a bit slower than native speed, but still natural enough to challenge you.
So, Ella, yesterday I tried something new. I listened to a podcast while walking to the store, and I realized I understood way more than last month. It kind of surprised me.
That's a great feeling. It's like your brain suddenly clicks and you go, wait, did I just understand that? Tell them the trick you used.
Oh yeah, I repeated certain sentences quietly to myself. Not loud enough to look like I lost my mind, but loud enough for my mouth to practice the sounds. This is huge. When you repeat after us or after anyone speaking English, your mouth learns the patterns, your ears catch the rhythm, and everything becomes easier. Let's give them a short mini dialogue they can shadow.
Good idea. I'll say one line, you repeat, then Ella responds, and you repeat again. Ready? Do you have any plans this weekend?
I'm thinking about watching a new movie.
Nice. Keep going. Ask yourself if you sounded smooth or if you hesitated. Both are okay. Hesitation means you're growing.
And stay with us. This is just the beginning. Something interesting happens when you slow down enough to notice your own progress. You begin to realize that English isn't a wall to climb. It's more like a path you're walking. Every step counts, even the tiny ones.
True. And speaking of steps, here's another sentence for you to repeat. It's simple, but it builds confidence. I understand more English than I did last month. Say it slowly, clearly, and confidently.
Good. Now, let's dive into a natural topic people talk about all the time, daily stress. Because everyone, no matter where they live, deals with it. Listen to how we use vocabulary to describe it.
I had a stressful morning. My alarm didn't ring, I woke up late, and then I couldn't find my keys. You know that feeling when everything goes wrong at the same time?
Absolutely. It's like the universe says, here's a challenge for you. But here's a useful expression for moments like that. I had a rough start to my day. Try saying that.
And another one. Nothing seemed to go right. This is a very natural phrase that native speakers use without thinking. Repeat it slowly and feel the flow of the sentence.
Notice the rhythm? English has a kind of music to it. When you repeat phrases with the right rhythm, you sound more natural. It's not just about vocabulary, it's about how sentences move.
By the way, something helpful for listening practice is paying attention to connected speech. For example, when I say gonna, it's actually going to. When I say wanna, it's want to. These appear everywhere in spoken English. Hear the difference?
Try saying this. I'm gonna try harder this week. You'll hear that in movies, podcasts, and everyday conversation.
Here's another. I wanna improve my English. Saying it helps train your ears so it becomes natural when others say it.
Keep your focus and stay with us. Things are going to get even more interesting as we go deeper. Another thing that helps a lot is noticing how people describe emotions in real life. When you understand emotional language, conversations feel more human and much easier to follow. For example, someone might say, I was totally exhausted after work, instead of simply saying, I was tired.
Or they might say, I was overwhelmed, which means they had too much to do and didn't know where to start. Repeat that word, overwhelmed. Feel how the sounds connect.
Here's a short mini dialogue using emotional vocabulary. Listen first, then shadow us. How was your day?
Honestly, it was overwhelming, but I'm feeling better now.
That's good. Sometimes a short break is all we need.
Try repeating each line at your own pace. And remember, sounding natural comes from practicing sentences you'll actually use in real life.
Speaking of real life, let's talk about routines. Routines are perfect for practicing English because they're predictable and full of useful phrases. For example, someone might say, "I usually start my day with a cup of tea."
Or, I check my messages before I leave the house. These expressions appear everywhere, so mastering them gives you a huge advantage. Repeat that sentence. I check my messages before I leave the house.
Nice. Now here's something more advanced. Listen to this longer sentence. I try to stay organized so I don't feel stressed throughout the day. You can break it into chunks when you repeat it.
Long sentences help build listening stamina. The more you expose your ears to complex structures, the easier it becomes to understand native speakers without feeling lost.
Stay engaged and keep breathing through the practice. Your listening muscles are getting stronger with every minute. One thing that surprises many learners is how much small talk helps build listening skills. Small conversations may seem simple, but they train your brain to react quickly. For example, when someone asks, "How's your week going?" you instantly try to understand tone, rhythm, and meaning together.
And sometimes the answer isn't literal. Someone might say, "It's been a bit crazy," which doesn't mean chaos of the streets. It just means they've been busy or stressed. These indirect expressions are important. Repeat this one. It's been a bit crazy lately.
Great! Now imagine you're chatting with a coworker. Listen to this short exchange. Did you finish the report?
Not yet. I'm working on it this afternoon.
All right, let me know if you need any help.
These are everyday sentences you'll hear in workplaces, schools, and casual conversations. Shadowing them trains both your listening and your clarity when speaking.
Let's move into something more descriptive. Describing people, places, and experiences is a major skill for intermediate learners. Try this. The cafe had a warm atmosphere with soft music playing in the background. That's a very natural way to paint a picture with words.
You can also describe people the same way. For example, she has a calm and friendly personality. Simple, but very natural. Repeat that phrase and feel how smoothly it flows.
Here's a longer one to stretch your listening. He speaks confidently, but he's also very patient when explaining things. This kind of sentence helps you practice hearing multiple ideas linked together.
The more you practice sentences like these, the easier it becomes to follow long conversations without feeling tired. Your brain adapts, and soon you'll notice that even fast English starts to make sense.
Keep your focus. The progress happening right now is real. Something learners often forget is that listening isn't only about understanding words, it's also about catching intention. For example, if someone says, "I might go out later," they're not giving a clear answer. They're being unsure, polite, or flexible. Notice how tone changes the meaning.
Another example is when someone says, "I'm not sure about that." Sometimes it means they disagree but don't want to sound rude. Repeat that sentence and pay attention to how soft the tone feels. "I'm not sure about that."
Tone is a huge part of intermediate listening. Two people can say the same words but mean completely different things depending on how they sound. Listen to these two versions. "Yeah, that's fine." "Yeah, that's fine." Same words, different meaning. This is why training your ears with natural conversation is so important.
Let's add another practical skill, asking for clarification. In real life, even native speakers ask for repetition. If you don't understand something, you can say, "Could you repeat that?" Or, "Sorry, I didn't catch that." These phrases are simple but powerful. Repeat them clearly.
Another useful one is, "What do you mean by that?" This helps you understand someone's intention without feeling embarrassed.
Here's a mini dialogue using these phrases. Listen closely. "The meeting's been moved to 3.
"Sorry, I didn't catch that. What time?"
3 in the afternoon.
This kind of interaction happens every day. Practicing it helps you stay calm and confident when you miss something in real conversations.
Now shift your attention to rhythm again. English has stressed and unstressed beats, almost like music. Try this sentence. "I'll give you a call when I'm free." Listen to how some words are strong and others are soft.
If you repeat it with the same rhythm, you'll sound smoother and understand fast English more easily. Keep absorbing the flow. Something that really helps intermediate learners is getting comfortable with storytelling. When someone tells a story, the language becomes richer, the sentences become longer, and the emotions become clearer. This makes it the perfect listening exercise.
I'll start with a short story, and your job is just to listen and feel the rhythm. After that, you can repeat some parts if you want. Here we go. Last weekend, I went to a small bookstore near my apartment. I didn't plan to buy anything, but then I found a novel I've been wanting for months. The owner was so friendly that we ended up talking for almost 15 minutes.
That's a great example of natural storytelling. It includes details, emotions, and small actions. Notice words like ended up. That's a phrasal verb that means the final result of something. Try repeating this sentence. We ended up talking for almost 15 minutes.
Storytelling also gives you new vocabulary without forcing you to memorize lists. When you hear words inside a story, your brain stores them more naturally. Let's add another short one. On my way home, it started raining suddenly and I didn't have an umbrella. I had to run to the nearest bus stop, and everyone there was laughing because we all looked soaked.
That sentence has great expressions. Started raining suddenly, I didn't have an umbrella, looked soaked. These are very common and very useful. Repeat this one. I looked completely soaked.
Storytelling also gives you new vocabulary without forcing you to memorize lists. Let's add another short one. On my way home, it started raining suddenly and I didn't have an umbrella. I had to run to the nearest bus stop, and everyone there was laughing because we all looked soaked.
That sentence has great expressions. Started raining suddenly, I didn't have an umbrella, looked soaked. These are very common and very useful. Repeat this one. I looked completely soaked.
You can practice storytelling too. Even short ones help. Talk about your morning, your school, your job, or something funny that happened last week. These topics build real-life listening and speaking muscles.
Here's a descriptive example. The bus stop was crowded, the air smelled like rain, and everyone was shaking water from their clothes. You hear senses, actions, and atmosphere all together.
The more you expose yourself to descriptive language, the easier it becomes to understand movies, interviews, and natural conversations. Keep your attention steady as we go deeper.
Another thing that builds strong listening skills is noticing how people transition between ideas. Native speakers don't always speak in short, clean sentences. They combine thoughts, add details, and jump from one point to another smoothly. For example, I wanted to go for a walk, but it started raining, so I stayed inside and made some tea instead. Hear how the sentence flows? It's one idea connecting to the next.
These connected thoughts appear constantly in natural English. Try repeating this one. I was planning to relax, but something unexpected came up. It's a common structure, and mastering it helps you understand conversations that move quickly. Let's practice with a situation many people experience, changing plans. Listen to this short exchange.
Were you able to meet your friend yesterday?
No, he canceled at the last minute, so I just stayed home.
That happens. Did you do anything fun instead?
I watched a documentary and made some snacks.
This is real-life English, natural, simple, and full of useful patterns. Shadow the parts you feel comfortable with and let the rest sink in.
Now focus on descriptions again. Imagine you're talking about a place you visited. You could say, the restaurant was small but cozy, and the food smelled amazing the moment I walked in. That sentence gives atmosphere, emotion, and detail all at once.
Or if you want to describe a person, you might say, he's really easy to talk to, and he always listens without interrupting. These qualities help your language sound more natural. Repeat that phrase slowly.
Another useful one, she has a great sense of humor. This expression is extremely common and works in many contexts.
As you improve, you'll start recognizing these patterns automatically. Your ears will catch them faster, and your brain will process meaning without translating. That's the point where English becomes easier and more comfortable. Something that helps learners move to the next level is paying attention to cause and effect. When people explain reasons or results, their sentences become slightly longer and more complex. For example, I didn't sleep well last night because there was a lot of noise outside. Hear how the reason connects smoothly to the main idea?
You'll hear these structures everywhere, on the news, in interviews, even in casual chats. Try repeating this one. I missed the bus because I left the house too late. Feel how the sentence expands naturally?
And here's another useful pattern, talking about results. For example, it rained all afternoon, so the streets were completely flooded. When you understand these connections, you follow stories much more easily.
Let's build a quick mini dialogue using both cause and effect. Listen carefully. Why were you tired this morning?
I stayed up late finishing a project, so I barely slept.
That explains it. I hope you get some rest later.
Notice the flow? One idea leads naturally into the next. This is how conversations sound when people talk about daily life.
Now focus on another real-life situation, asking for opinions. This is extremely useful for both listening and speaking. You can ask, "What do you think about it?" or "How do you feel about this idea?" These questions invite longer answers. Repeat one of them out loud.
And when you answer, you can use phrases like, "I think it's a good idea," or "I'm not completely sure, but it sounds interesting." These soft, natural responses help you sound thoughtful and confident at the same time.
Now imagine a conversation between two friends deciding something. Listen closely.
Should we try that new cafe today?
I think it could be nice. I've heard the desserts are great.
All right, let's check it out after work.
Dialogues like this are simple but incredibly useful. They help you hear rhythm, tone, and natural pacing.
Your listening skills grow every time you hear these patterns repeated in different situations. Keep your ears open as we dive even further. Another skill that pushes learners forward is recognizing fillers. Native speakers use them all the time, and they help you follow the natural flow of speech. Words like well, actually, basically, and you know appear everywhere, not because they're necessary, but because they make speech sound relaxed and natural.
For example, someone might say, "Well, I'm not sure if I can come tonight," or "Actually, I already finished the assignment." These small words don't change the meaning much, but they change the tone. Try repeating this one. "Well, I think I need more time."
Fillers help you sound more fluent, too. When you don't know what to say next, you can use one of them to give yourself a second to think. Just don't overuse them. Balance is key.
Now let's build a short conversation using natural fillers. Listen carefully. So, did you enjoy the event yesterday?
Actually, it was better than I expected.
Really? I thought it might be boring.
Well, the beginning was slow, but it got interesting later.
These are the kinds of exchanges you'll hear in everyday English. Practicing them sharpens your listening and helps you respond more naturally.
Another important part of intermediate listening is catching small details. Sometimes the main idea is clear, but the important information is hidden in the details. For example, someone might say, "I can meet you after 4, but not before." The key detail is the time window.
Or they might say, "I'm free on Thursday, but Friday won't work for me." If you miss the second part, you misunderstand the whole plan. This is why careful listening to details is essential. Repeat this. "I'm free after 4, but not before."
Let's create a realistic planning conversation. Focus on the details. When's a good time for our study session?
"I'm available in the evening, but only after 7.
That works for me. Should we meet online or in person?
"Online is better. My internet is fast at night."
When you shadow these lines, try to catch every small piece of information. That's how you build stronger comprehension.
Your listening muscles are growing with every sentence. Keep absorbing the language as it flows.
One more thing that really improves your comprehension is noticing patterns in questions. Questions often follow predictable forms, and recognizing them helps you respond faster. For example, "Have you ever?" or "Do you know?" signals that someone is asking about experience or knowledge.
Exactly. Try repeating this question. "Have you ever tried cooking a new recipe?" Notice how your intonation rises at the end. That's a clue it's a question.
Another example, "Do you know where the library is?" The key words usually carry the main information. Focusing on them makes understanding easier.
Short mini dialogue for practice. Listen closely. "Do you know if the meeting starts on time?"
Yes, it starts at 3, so we should leave soon.
Great, thanks for letting me know.
These exchanges may seem simple, but they train you to pick up meaning quickly in real-life conversations.
Before we finish, let's practice one more descriptive sentence. "The park was peaceful, with children playing and birds singing in the trees."
Say it aloud and feel the natural rhythm.
Small steps like this add up. Every phrase, every dialogue, every mini-story helps your brain think in English instead of translating. That's how real progress happens.
Listening, repeating, and noticing patterns. These are your tools. Keep using them daily, and soon you'll understand English effortlessly in movies, podcasts, and real conversations.
If you've enjoyed this practice and want more episodes like this, make sure to subscribe. Subscribing ensures you don't miss daily listening exercises, mini dialogues, and tips that actually help you improve.
Every episode brings new sentences, new expressions, and more chances to strengthen your English. Hit that subscribe button and grow with us every day.
Thanks for joining us today. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and we'll see you in the next episode. Subscribe and keep learning.